Hi, welcome to Orion Today. I'm Kelly McKay here with Kevin McCormick. Stay tuned because I'm going to be talking to Marcella from Simply Marcella's Boutique downtown Lake Orion about fashion.
And I'll be talking to Keith Kauzlarich, who is with the Summit Sports Academy, about the challenges that homeschool kids have in playing athletics. All of that and more on Orion Today.
Hi, welcome back to Orion Today. I'm your host, Kelly McKay, here with Marcella, business owner and fashion designer for Simply Marcella's. Hi Marcella, how are you?
Hi, I'm great, thank you.
So I hear you brought in some fashions today. Do you want to tell us about the first one?
Sure. Basically what you see over here, we have Beth, and she is wearing one of the coats that I designed. And the coats have been a very solid staple in our business. And they're a very tailored look, and I have probably made over about 1,800 of them already that we've sold, and I only do about 6 of every fabric. So they're very exclusive.
Wow.
And behind each of the buttons you'll find a pearl because that's our signature. And I've actually named the coat collection after my mother, so they're all named the Carol Ann collection.
Wow, so what type of work goes into making coats like this?
Basically, it's finding, for me, it was finding the perfect fit that I thought looks good on almost all women. And I think it's a very flattering look. So I wanted something that made us look pretty in a very understated, elegant way. You can wear it with your jeans, you could dress it up, and it's the design of the fabric, and depending on what fabric you use, it changes the total look of the coat. So this is a brocade, more like a velvet on like a cotton base, and it's kind of like a drapery fabric almost, but I just think it's a very nice look. And you can see that she's also wearing one of the handbags, or carrying one of the handbags that we have, and one of the 2 of our necklaces together to make the ensemble.
Wow. So you said you made how many of these coats?
Probably over 1,800, but I've had my business for quite a while. So within 6 years, we've sold over 1,800 pieces.
Wow, and you design all the looks.
Yes.
So Marcella, tell us about your business.
Well, basically, I started approximately 8 years ago. It kind of was something I stumbled into. I was a school teacher for 20 years, and my husband was an international executive, so I was traveling abroad and I discovered the wonderful world of pearls, and I looked at how inexpensively I could purchase them and how beautiful they were, and then I would look at the prices back in the US, and I thought, this doesn't seem right. So I decided while I was teaching to just start a small business on the side, and I wrote to all my girlfriends. I said, what do you think about this name, and what do you think about this business? And the feedback really helped me a lot. And I just started doing little designs and doing little private shows for friends, and it just kept growing and growing, and eventually my house became a pearl store. And I said to my husband, something's got to give. So we opened my business 5 years ago in St. Clair's, where my first boutique is, and I recently gave up teaching 2 years ago because between the business and living abroad in Finland, which is another story, it was just too hard to have everything, so something had to give.
Wow, so how did you choose St. Clair Shores for your first location?
Actually, it's St. Clair, not St. Clair Shores,
Oh, okay.
that's a good point that you brought up. A lot of people get that a little confused. I was teaching for East China School District for the 20 years, so that is really my home now. And there's a 1926 gas station that I renovated, so I just thought it was the perfect location. My goal was to design a business that was like somebody's home, so it was a very comfortable atmosphere, and I just wanted to recreate what I thought was successful when I had the at-home business.
Okay, and then you opened up a second store.
Yes, which is here in Lake Orion, which was a wonderful discovery. I came into the town and I saw the perfect building, and I didn't even know I wanted a second location until I saw the building in a little downtown area, and I realized this is where we should be.
So are the things in your store high priced?
Absolutely not, and that's the reason I started my whole business. Is I felt like if you, as a woman, you go into a boutique, everything is so expensive and you feel like you can't touch it. My job, my goal was to create an environment where it feels very rich and it looks very elegant, but if you want to buy a pearl pair of earrings for $15, I have that, or you can buy a necklace for $1,500, but everything is very fair price. I would say the average piece of jewelry that is exclusive to us and made with real pearls is probably somewhere between $40 and $50.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So tell me what goes into becoming a fashion designer and starting to design your clothing.
I think I just fell into that too, because basically I was designing clothes for myself, and that coat, for example, I was wearing the style, and I just made them for myself, and my customers were asking me, where did you get that? And I said, oh, it's just something I've made for myself. And so they said, well, make them for us, for the boutique. So I started designing the coats, and then that turned into the dresses, and then that turned into sundresses, et cetera, and I just kind of did it. And I think maybe it's because of the figure I've been given. I like to be flattering for all women, not just the little teeny tiny ones.
Yes.
So that's one of my focuses too.
So do you have people that help you design the clothing at all?
No.
Is it solely you?
Yes, it's
but
all me.
You must have people help you sew them and put them together.
Definitely have to do that, right. For me, it's more about picking the design, the sketching of everything, and then I have tailors that I work with that do build all the pieces for me.
So how long would you say that it takes on average to make a coat?
Turnaround time, 6 weeks for one coat, but then I have to approve of the samples. So once I see the samples, and then we turn it around again for probably another 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, so you make one coat design, and then you can do it in different colors and patterns?
Right, I just check all the samples first, because I may find a fabric that I think is beautiful, and then when I see it pieced together, it's not the look that I had wanted originally, so it changes it up.
Okay, so did you ever go to fashion school or fashion?
No, but I have my master's in education, and then I have another one in theater. And during that time, you had to take a lot of costuming classes, and I think that came from that as well. Putting colors together and looking at the fashion on the people, and that was always a very interesting side of life for me. So.
Yes. Well, would you like to tell us about this other look that you have brought?
Right. The second piece that we have Beth wearing is one of my more fun, playful, casual dresses, and this is called eyelash fabric, and you can see it's in a leopard print, and it's just kind of a maxi cut, a little bit of the 60s retro look going, depends on what you want to wear with it. And as you saw when Beth turned around, if you'll turn around again, Beth, I did the exposed zipper, which I just think is a little bit more playful in the lower back to give it more of a sexy, fun look, but you can get away with it, like I said, with the boots or leggings, and she has a long strand of pearls that's wrapped around once that adds a little bit of elegance to it, and she's also carrying, which I think is a really darling, leopard bag with Swarovski crystals along with it. But these dresses, this is one of my new ones that I just did over the holidays, and they've sold very, very well, and they're comfortable and just different, so that's what I like to do too, something that's fun.
So tell me about the inspiration for this dress. How did you decide to come up with a look like this?
I just wanted something that I could wear, and basically that's what it is. I'm very selfish. I design all the clothes that I want for myself, and I'm wearing one of my dresses actually right now as well. So I want something that I can wear to the boutique. Generally I tell my staff I don't want them to wear pattern to the boutique, but this is an exception. And like I said, if I wear this, or if Beth wears it, you can wear it with what she has on, or you throw on your boots and you can do the afternoon in the mall. It's just one of those pieces that fluctuates between day and night, so to speak, and looks really cute on everybody.
Wow, very nice. So tell me about, if you had to give advice on someone who wanted to start up a small business, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, something my husband always said to me, I love it, don't quit your day job. And it makes sense, because I think a lot of people, they have a passion, so they think, oh, I'm just going to open up a baseball card shop. But if you don't know anything about the business and promoting it or what your customers really need, chances of success, I think, are very slim. If I would not have opened my business while I was teaching school and learned what my customers were looking for, thought about the environment that I was going for, I don't think I would have ever been able to make it like I have. But they were able to tell me what's needed in the market today.
Right. So you need to make sure that you're really in touch with what your customers want and need.
Oh, I think so. And I think any good business, customer service is number one, no matter what. You don't have a business without good customer service.
Right. So tell me what kind of advice you would give to people who are looking to go into fashion and maybe don't have the ability to jump in like you had.
I think that's an interesting question, because I've never thought about it. I just feel like you have to hold true to your dreams, and if it's something that you really believe in, and I'm not saying walk on the moon, but that's a very achievable goal. And if you really love fashion and you keep putting your mind toward it and working toward it and starting small, don't get in over your head, I think you too can be a success. And It's a matter of listening and believing in your own dreams and your own goals.
So do you ever have seasonal fashion shows or anything like that for your boutique?
We haven't. In fact, we're highlighting fashion. Primarily, I will say the jewelry is my #1 focus. That is the biggest part of Simply Marcella. The fashion is like an add-on that just keeps growing that I didn't expect. Now we're thinking, okay, maybe we should get into more fashion shows and things like that, but still we're primarily known for our jewelry, the Simply Pearls brand, but now the Caroline collection is becoming bigger, so I have to start thinking differently as well.
Wow. So Marcella, tell me how you stay up to beat with all the new fashion out there.
A lot of different ways, basically, is shopping, which is one of my favorite pastimes. And of course, I do subscribe to a lot of fashion magazines that I like to just kind of browse through, and you see something that kind of catches your eye. And example, I just saw a style the other day, and it showed a sheer lace body going across the front of it, and the way it was cut. And I think to myself, okay, how can I make that, manipulate it, turn it into something that I would like to wear? But it gives you ideas, and then you try to put the ideas together. And that's, I guess, imitation is a form of flattery, and I do look at different designers and think, okay, what are they doing that's working, and can I use any of those tools?
Very interesting. Well, can you tell us about this look that we have here, this last look?
This is one of our very favorite styles, and it's been quite popular. This is one I just did recently for the holidays, and it's the tie shoulder. As you can see, Beth is wearing it as a bow. I choose to wear it as a knot. It depends on what you like. I used a very sparkly fabric, and it just wears very well, and it picks up a lot of light. And you can wear it for any occasions, whether it's a special party, a wedding, but it's definitely one of our more dressy looks. And she, again, is carrying one of our handbags that we sell at the boutique. And she's wearing our earrings as well. And you can see the classic 6-gram bracelet she's had on every outfit, which I just think it works with every outfit. You can wear it with all different looks. But this dress, I think, is very flattering on a lot of different women as well. It's one of those that you can eat a lot of dinner and not worry so much, which is important. But of course, Beth wears it well, and she's an asset to the dress, but it's one of our favorites and looks very nice on a lot of different ladies.
It does, looks very nice. Well, if someone wants to get in contact with you, how can they call your store?
Well, they can call us. We have 2 locations. The best way would to go to www.simplymarcella.com.
Okay.
And of course, that's going to have our phone numbers on there. And the Lake Orion number is 248-814-7400. And we are open 5 days a week, Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. But we're also very well known for our evening events. We book private events, and we actually have a liquor license at our boutique here in Lake Orion. So we have a cash bar available every single day. And we do charity events as well. So there's a lot of activities that we can provide for the community, helpful and playful.
Thank you, Marcella, and thank you, Beth. Okay, everyone, stay tuned for more on Orion Today. We'll be back shortly.
Orion Township Community Programs invites area families to the 4th Annual Growing Green Expo on Wednesday, March 20th from 1 to 7 p.m. Vendors will be stationed throughout the Orion Center offering information on green products, career opportunities, energy efficiency, greening your home, organic gardens, and parks and trails. Parking and admission is free to the public. That's the Growing Green Expo at the Orion Center, Wednesday, March 20th from 1 to 7 p.m. For more information, call 248-391-0304 extension 305 or visit oriontownship.org.
Hi, welcome back to Orion Today. And we've got a couple of really great guests with us here today. There's a phenomenon, folks, across the country about homeschooling your kids. A lot of folks are choosing to homeschool their kids for a variety of reasons. But one of the challenges in homeschooling your children really comes down to how do you get them involved in sports activities at the appropriate age level. Most kids naturally gravitate to sports when they're in a traditional school system, but if you're being homeschooled, you don't have that outlet for sports activity. So we've got with us today Keith Kauzlarich, who has some homeschooled children, but he also is a soccer coach, and his kids play soccer in a homeschool environment. Keith, welcome with us today, and thanks for coming on Orion Today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you bet. And then this is Marcella. Marcella is Keith's daughter, and she's also a soccer player too. So welcome, Marcella.
Thank you.
You bet. Keith, what I really wanted to talk to you about is you are a soccer coach, and your kids are all homeschooled. So what are the challenges, because your kids are homeschooled, with integrating them into an athletic program that's challenging and making sure that they get the type of athletic training that you would expect as a parent?
Yes, that's a great question. Approximately maybe 12 years ago, we have 5 children, and we've homeschooled all 5 of them. Looking at the high school experience, because there's a lot of life lessons that can come through athletics, soccer, baseball, basketball. Our oldest loved soccer, played club soccer, and really wanted to have that high school experience. Here in the state of Michigan, they don't have that option if they're not in a public school. So we had found out about a great organization called Summit Sports Academy, and at that time, homeschool athletes, because there are some great athletes, Tim Tebow being one of them, being a homeschooled athlete, that would have that opportunity to be able to compete and have that high school experience here in Michigan.
So with the Summit Sports Academy, how do you schedule your games against? Do you play against other homeschooled athletes, or do you play against the regular traditional high school athletes in different cities or whatnot?
We do both. Basically, the majority of our schedule, we have approximately about 125 students, homeschool athletes that are in the Summit program. There is a basketball program and baseball, but in our focus is towards soccer. So we have a men's varsity and JV, as well as a women's varsity and JV. We traditionally will play more at a Division IV level here in the state of Michigan. Schools like Oakland Christian and Lutheran North and Plymouth Christian, mainly the Christian schools, but we will play public schools as well. Periodically we'll play homeschool clubs in our state tournament, and but that is more towards the end of our season. But we'll carry a 15 to 18 game schedule. We try to stay in line with the Michigan High School Athletic Association's rules, the same rules as we play those teams. And we have 4-year eligibility, but we're a sports academy that brings a club atmosphere towards it.
Mm-hmm. And then how do you notice any difference at all in terms of the level of athletic talent with homeschool kids, athletes, versus traditional athletes?
No, they're athletes, and we're giving them an opportunity to be able to compete. Without this program, they would not be able to compete in a sport that they would really love. We have young men and young women that are in the collegiate level that have come through our program that are playing in Division I, Division II, Division III NAIA programs, and some really great athletes.
You know, one of the when you play athletics at a high school level, especially, one of the benefits, sometimes you get scouted by different colleges and stuff looking for athletes, perhaps to offer scholarships or to invite the athlete onto the team as a walk-on athlete. Do you have a problem with getting your players noticed by appropriate schools when they're considering college and perhaps playing athletics at the next level?
No, it's really been great. We have a lot of our kids come from clubs. So obviously clubs are going to be the first point of contact for them with their colleges. But also we play like a club in our play. We're a possession type team. So we do have colleges that will come in. In fact, we have 3 colleges that are on our schedule, NAIA colleges this year, that will give them some exposure to local colleges.
Okay, so it's kind of used almost like as a recruiting tool in addition to the athletic competition.
Yes.
By your estimate, how many homeschooled kids are there within the state of Michigan, do you think?
Somewhere between 100 and 200,000 kids is what we hear as a number, but it's hard to really qualify that.
Right. Do you have a sense of if it's mostly like in rural areas that choose to go the homeschooling route, or are there a lot of parents or a number of parents in more densely populated, what they call urban areas, that choose to homeschool their kids?
That's really difficult to really say. For us, we live in a rural area, so we don't have those options for private schools where we're at. without a long driving distance. But most of the kids that play for us live in the city, so it's hard to say, but I'm sure it's both.
So it goes both ways. Michaela, you are a soccer player on your dad's team, I take it, right? Now, what position do you play?
Center mid.
Center mid?
Yes.
Now, I'm not real familiar with soccer, but is that like a scoring, you get a lot of scoring opportunities at center mid?
Yeah, like in a way. Forwards usually is the person that scores, but mid is like right behind them in that, so.
Okay, and how do you feel like you're progressing in terms of your talent and your skill set? I mean, do you feel like you're playing really well so far?
Oh yeah, I'm progressing every time I get out on the field, especially with having such great coaches, so.
Dad is a coach. I know how that is. I coach my son in football, so I know how Dad can be his coach. Do you have aspirations to play at the next level in college?
Yes, I think it will help me in the future and to get into school and everything like that. So I'm excited to play.
Very much. Now, Keith, you said you have 5 children that have all been homeschooled. You've got Michaela playing for you now. The 3 that are older, they've all played for you as well. How has their athletic and academic careers progressed since they've been playing for you as a homeschool athlete?
Yeah, I think it's sometimes challenging to be the coach of your kids. A lot of times you're harder on your own than you would be, and you have to make sure that you don't show any sort of favoritism. That's really a key to coaching. The interesting part with coaching is that you really do care for each and every player. We have a great coaching staff, so I'm not the only coach. And in fact, this year for Michaela, Coach Paul Doro will be the head coach. I'll be an assistant. But we look at with all the kids is to use this as life lessons. There's a lot of life lesson experiences to draw out their strengths, to be able to equip them. They have a passion for the game. We want to be able to equip them just as if it was a high school. We've had media sources come on out to interview us during practices, and to their surprise, how organized our practice sessions are. We have our own home field. We're a 501c club. We don't have a budget per se where we have dollars. It's all pretty much through donations and private funding. So we want to give these kids an experience. There is a cost to be able to do it. We're not part of a public school or a city. So those things are our challenges. But we've been entirely grateful to the schools out there that have been able to provide us opportunity to be able to play them and have this experience for these high school kids.
Now, have you found situations where an opponent, maybe a school that you're playing, whatever, perhaps underestimates you because they say, oh, these guys are a group of homeschool athletes. They may not be as good as we are, and then you come out and you kind of are a lot more competitive than they expected? Yes.
In the last 10 years, we've been able to build a reputation within the Detroit area. Last year, our record was 18-2, and typically we're in that range of a good winning season. We've been state champs within our own homeschooling league, but playing schools locally, we've got a reputation of being a very strong team. Our boys won the national championship in 2008 and 2009, and the girls that we have this year will compete. We will play Division I schools as well.
Wow. Okay. Now, with winning the national championship, have you found that draws additional prospective players to you? Like when they find out that you're a homeschool team and that you're having the success that you're having, does that draw other homeschool parents to you to say, hey, my kid's homeschooled, I'd like for him to perhaps, try to find a spot to play in your team? Have you had that effect happen to you?
It's a challenge because a lot of homeschool, there's no way of being able to find out where these kids are homeschooled. So having opportunities like this to be able to promote Summit or to be into a tournament that we would win a state championship or a national championship has helped Summit find players to our club. So yeah, that is absolutely a challenge for us. I think the biggest regret that we'll find is a student that is homeschooled becomes a senior or graduates and says, gosh, I played club soccer. I had no idea that there was an opportunity for me to have that high school experience. So our hope is to be able to find those kids, but we do miss them sometimes.
Right. Now, for parents who are in the homeschool environment, who have children that perhaps they'd like to get them more exposed to different athletic activities, what's the best way for them to start that process? Who do they need to contact? Is there a website that they can go to in order to kind of get more information to kick off the process?
Yeah, absolutely. www.summitsportsacademy.com is our website, and from there you'd be able to find the contact information to plug into Summit.
Okay, summitsportsacademy.com. So, Michaela, before we go, we got just a few minutes left. Anything that you'd like to say from your perspective as a student, as an athlete, as the daughter of a coach who plays on a homeschool soccer team, anything that you'd like to say to other students who may be watching what we're doing here today?
Just that, I mean, if you want to just do some sports or anything, you want to get athletic, that doing this, it's great. Like, the people around are great, and the coaches and the staff really do like everything they can to make you feel welcomed, and it's a really great environment, so I would suggest doing it.
Well, great. Well, Keith, Michaela, I wish you both the best of luck. Thank you very much for coming on our show today. Thank you for enlightening us about the homeschool athletic environment and all the benefits that come as a result of that. And we wish you guys nothing but the best of luck in your future endeavors. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Folks, thanks for tuning in to Orion Today. We also would like to thank our guest from earlier, Marcella from Simply Marcella in downtown Lake Orion, and her model, Beth. We thank you for tuning in to Orion Today, and next time, we hope to see you soon. Take care and have a great day.